All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story, though, is a very sad one. Jerry Ward, maybe better known as BioS3 Raw TV. He was a YouTuber, he was a coach, he was a judge, he did commentary for shows. He was very heavily involved in the bodybuilding industry, and a lot of you guys probably know who he is. It was announced today by Gary Udit, who's a promoter for the NPC, that Jerry passed away apparently while he was in Pittsburgh doing the commentary for the NPC Teen Collegiate and Masters Nationals. So he was actually there, I'm guessing, in his hotel room. So Gary said in this post, "Sadly, we lost a terrific friend today with the passing of Jerry Ward. Jerry died suddenly last night. He was here in Pittsburgh commentating on the live stream of the NPC Teen Collegiate and Masters Nationals and the NPC and IFBB Pro League over the years. Jerry was an excellent competitor, judge, expediter, head judge, and pay-per-view commentator. His knowledge of the sport of bodybuilding was unparalleled. Jerry was liked and loved by everybody he came into contact with. We are devastated at his passing." So as of right now, I don't think anybody has any idea what the cause of death is, so there's no need to speculate. Again, everybody is saying, or all the reports that I've seen just say that it was sudden and that it was unexpected. And Jerry was only 46 years old when this happened, so it's not like he was old by any stretch of the imagination. But there's never a right time to lose somebody. So just wanted to extend my thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Jerry Ward. It sucks to lose a fellow YouTuber. I watched his videos when I was younger. I've had a few interactions with him myself, the majority of which were very positive, and he will definitely be missed. So rest in peace, Jerry Ward, and a moment of silence. All right, now next up in the news, the results of the 2022 Chicago Pro, starting with men's open bodybuilding. So this went pretty much how we expected it would go. Antoine Vaillant taking the victory and the Olympia qualification here. I thought he looked actually a little bit better here, a little bit sharper than he looked in Vancouver. One of the best versions of Antoine's physique, I think, that we've ever seen. I think he's improved a lot, and I think that makes it even more impressive considering all the setbacks that he's had, the health issues, the health scares that he's had. I think it kind of adds another element of how impressive this was, the fact that he didn't really let anybody know that he was prepping for Vancouver, that he was planning on competing anytime soon. And now we get to see him on the Olympia stage in 2022. So Antoine was in first, Tonio Burton wound up taking second place, Andrea Musi wound up taking third, Tim Budesheim wound up in fourth, and Jonas Giatris wound up in fifth place. I think Tonio took the edge over Andrea Musi, like I said in the prejudging video, primarily because of conditioning. Obviously, Andrea Musi has done very well at a lot of the shows that he's done recently, but I think at this show he was a little bit off as far as his conditioning was concerned. He was definitely bigger than Tonio Burton. He's a little bit more seasoned as a men's open pro than Tonio Burton. But I think Tonio definitely edged him out in terms of conditioning. But overall, I think the main thing about the Chicago Pro is it's really just a feel-good story for Antoine. I'm really happy for him. I'm really excited for him. I think he deserved this victory. Again, I think he overcame a lot of obstacles to get here, and the fact that we get to see him on the Olympia stage this year, I think, is a major accomplishment for him. So shout out to Antoine on the victory. Well-deserved and pretty much expected. Now, next up in the news, another show that's just a couple weeks away is the Texas Pro. Now, recently, a guy that we haven't seen on stage in quite a while, Steve Kuclo, announced that he will again be doing the Texas Pro. He did it last year. He lost to Ian. He's doing it again this year. Now we know Ian is not doing any more shows prior to the Olympia, and I think a lot of people have missed seeing Steve Kuclo on stage, myself included. And Steve is not currently qualified for the 2022 Mr. Olympia, so he would need this win to get there, and I think a lot of his fans would love to see him there. So just yet another thing to be excited for with all these storylines that are starting to happen in bodybuilding right now. Now we can look forward to seeing the return of the King Snake at the Texas Pro. Next up in the news, another bodybuilder that we haven't seen compete in a while is a bodybuilder that has a very classic physique but is competing in 212, very similar to Keon Pearson, and doing the same show as Keon in 212, Cody Drobot. So you can see these recent physique updates of Cody just a couple weeks out from that Tampa show. And I think that's what makes me so interested to see what's going to happen at this show between him and Keon. And also Kareth Bajo is another guy that I'm really looking at here. But the similarities between Cody and Keon, they're both very aesthetic guys. Crazy V-tapers, crazy lines. I think Cody has a little bit more leg development than Keon does from some of the updates that I've seen recently. But I think Keon has a little bit more upper body development than Cody does from some of the updates that we've seen recently. And honestly, it's been so long since we've seen Cody on stage, I don't even remember what the last competition was that he did. So kind of another comeback of sorts to look forward to at this Tampa Pro. So best of luck to Cody, best of luck to Keon, best of luck to Kareth and all the other 212 competitors that will be competing in Tampa. Now, also in Chicago Pro news, the winner of the 212 category of the Chicago Pro has a lot of people talking about the package that he brought to the stage, pun intended. But seriously, Bo Lewis, the winner of the 212 category in Chicago, this is arguably the best version of Bo that we've ever seen. Very conditioned. I think he needs a little bit more development in the lower body to be more competitive as a 212 guy in bigger shows like the Olympia, like the Arnold. But he did earn that Olympia qualification here in Chicago. And he's a guy that I've seen compete in person many times. And like I said, of all the times that I've seen him compete, this was the best I've ever seen him look. I think he definitely deserved the victory. I think everybody kind of knew that based on how he looked at prejudging. And this guy was shredded to the bone, and I think his stage presence also had something to do with it. The package that he brought, I think, had all the judges' eyes on him constantly in the comparison rounds. Honestly, dude, I don't know what's going on there, but you can't help but notice, and you can't help but say something about it. The guy is hung like a horse. Now, next up in the news, Quint Beastwood, just a couple weeks out now, looking incredible in the latest physique updates that he's posted. Like I said in the couple other videos that we've done where we talked about Quinton, he looks like he's improved tremendously in the areas that he needed to. He's put on some size, specifically in the lower body. His conditioning so far looks great for a couple of weeks out. But you can see some serious separation in his legs, some serious size. He's a taller guy, so in the past, while he's got these great lines and a very aesthetic physique, he is taller. So I think it's been a slower process and a longer process for him to really fill out his extremities like that. But it really does look like in these updates, he's made some very significant progress, especially to the lower body. And I think he's going to do very well. Quinton Araya is another name that I think could very reasonably be added to that Olympia qualified competitors list. And the more of these shows that we see, the deeper that men's open Olympia lineup seems to look. Now we've got Antoine added to the list. Let's look at the most recent update here from the Olympia qualified competitor list. Obviously, Antoine is not yet on there. Actually, looking at it now, they don't have Ian or Antoine. They need to update that list. But you got Nick Walker, Nathan Diasha, Big Ramy, Brandon Curry, Hadi Chupin, Hunter Labrada, Sean Clarita, Regan Grimes, Samson Dowda, Rafael Brandau, Angel Calderon Frias. And if you guys don't know, Angel and Sean Clarita are both from the 212 category, but also qualified for men's open. You've also got Joel Thomas, William Bonac, Blessing Awodabu, Charles Griffin, Mohammed Shaban, Hassan Mustafa, Mohammed Alsnor, Vitor Boff, Andrea Presti, Ian Valier, and Antoine Vaillant. A lot of new names in this Olympia lineup that weren't there last year, and there's still a lot of upcoming shows to add even more new names to that lineup, which I think will make the Olympia very exciting. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Just a quick one today. And again, rest in peace to Jerry Ward. Very sad news. You hate to lose another member of the bodybuilding and fitness community, but it seems like every month, unfortunately, there's a new name added to that list. Hopefully, we can go through the rest of the year without any more, but I'm guessing there will be. So that's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.